Have you ever wondered what it's like to lose yourself in a city that feels like a living fairy tale? Today, we're taking a walk through Bruges, where the past lingers in every cobblestone, every canal, and every echo of church bells. But this isn't just about ticking off the must-see sights. We're diving into a mix of the classic experiences and the unexpected surprises that make Bruges so special. So, whether it's famous landmarks or a hidden cafe tucked away in an alley, let's see what this city has in store for us today. Hey, it's Alex, and today we're in Bruges, Belgium, a city that's all charm, cobblestones, and chocolate. And yes, I'll be doing some of the classic tourist stuff because, let's face it, they're popular for a reason. But I also want to find those little hidden corners, the ones that aren't always in the guidebooks. So stick around, because today's adventure is all about finding the perfect balance between the highlights and the hidden gems. And maybe we'll eat more waffles and chocolate than we should. But hey, when in Bruges, right? We're starting the day at Markt Square, the bustling heart of Bruges, where the Belfry Tower stands tall watching over the city. The square is already buzzing with life. Horse-drawn carriages clatter by, street performers are setting up, and the smell of fresh waffles is in the air. I decide to go all in and climb the 366 steps of the Belfry. It's a workout, but the view at the top, absolutely worth it. You get this incredible panoramic view of the city with the canals winding through like little ribbons of blue. Plus, it's a great way to earn the waffles we're about to dive into. After descending and maybe catching my breath for a minute, I make my way to a nearby waffle stand. This isn't just any waffle, this is a Belgian waffle. Crisp on the outside, soft on the inside, loaded with whipped cream, chocolate, and strawberries. I take a bite, and it's like a little piece of heaven. But let's be real, eating this without making a mess is a lost cause. I've got chocolate on my shirt, whipped cream on my nose, and I'm pretty sure a strawberry just went rogue somewhere. I spot a kid staring at me like I've lost a food battle, and all I can do is shrug and laugh. Honestly, zero regrets. Feeling a little sticky but satisfied, I wander over to one of Bruges' famous chocolate shops. But this isn't just for a quick taste. I've signed up for a chocolate-making workshop. Because when in Bruges, why not learn to make the stuff they're famous for? The workshop is run by a local chocolatier who's been in the business for decades. And let me tell you, this guy knows his chocolate. We start by learning about the history of chocolate in Belgium, and then it's hands-on, tempering the chocolate, pouring it into molds, and yes, tasting as we go. I try my best to make something presentable, but my attempts look more like lumpy blobs. The chocolatier laughs, pats me on the back, and says, "Not bad for a beginner." I think he's being generous, but hey, at least it tastes amazing. By the end, my apron is covered in chocolate smears, and I've got more on my hands than in the molds. It's a delicious mess, and I'm not complaining. With a box of slightly misshapen but delicious chocolates in hand, I continue my stroll along the canals. I hop on one of the classic boat tours, which might seem touristy, but it's one of the best ways to see the city. The guide tells stories of Bruges' history, pointing out the famous buildings and hidden courtyards as we float by. There's something about seeing the city from the water that makes it feel even more magical. At one point, we pass under a low bridge, and the guide jokes that it's good luck to duck. I don't quite manage it in time, and end up with a close-up view of the stonework. The people on the boat have a good laugh, and so do I. It's a good reminder that sometimes you've just got to go with the flow, literally. For those of you who are big on history, Bruges isn't just about charming streets and sweet treats. This city is also a gateway to some deeper stories, like the Flanders Field Tours. Just a short trip from Bruges, These tours take you through the battlefields of World War I, and it's a powerful, moving experience that offers a glimpse into a different side of Belgium's past. Standing in those fields, you can almost hear the echoes of history. It's a humbling reminder of the sacrifices made and how these peaceful landscapes once held such chaos. It's one of those experiences that sticks with you long after you've left, and if you've got the time, it's absolutely worth the journey. Back on land, I make my way to Burg Square, where the architecture is a beautiful mix of Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque styles. I step inside the Basilica of the Holy Blood, a small but stunning chapel that's said to house a vial of Christ's blood. It's quiet, almost serene, and a stark contrast to the busy streets outside. I take a moment to light a candle, letting the calm wash over me before stepping back out into the sunlight. It's a grounding experience, and I'm glad I took the time to pause and reflect. As the afternoon stretches on, I wander through some of the quieter streets, away from the main squares. I stumble upon a tiny shop filled with vintage postcards and old maps, a collector's dream. The owner, an older gentleman with glasses that magnify his kind eyes, tells me about the history of the city through the images on the postcards. It's like getting a mini history lesson wrapped in nostalgia, and I can't resist buying a couple to take home as mementos. I ask him about his favorite spots in the city, and he points me toward a small cafe tucked away near the canal. Feeling a bit peckish, I head towards the cafe. It's one of those places that doesn't scream for attention, no flashy signs or big windows, just a simple door that leads to a cozy little room filled with mismatched chairs and tables. I order a coffee and a slice of speculoos cheesecake and find a spot by the window. It's one of those simple moments that feel special, sipping coffee, watching people pass by, and soaking up the atmosphere. The owner strikes up a conversation, sharing stories of the cafe's history and his favorite hidden corners of Bruges. He's got this dry humor, joking about the tourists who rush by without ever seeing the real city. They miss the best parts, he says with a wink. He points me towards a small, lesser-known courtyard nearby, and I decide to check it out. The courtyard is a peaceful escape, with a small fountain and ivy climbing up the old stone walls. There's a bench in the corner, and I sit down, taking in the quiet. It's moments like this that remind me why I love exploring, finding those little pockets of calm in a busy city. As I'm sitting there, a cat appears out of nowhere, hops up next to me, and promptly decides I'm its new best friend. It's a funny, unexpected moment that adds a little extra charm to the day. I try to take a picture, but the cat has other ideas, swatting at my camera strap before sauntering off. With the sun starting to dip, I head back towards the main square. I decide to end the day on a high note, literally, with a quick stop at the rooftop bar of one of the nearby hotels. From up here, Bruges looks like a painting, with the rooftops glowing in the golden light of sunset. I sip on a local beer, taking in the view and reflecting on the day's adventures. Bruges is one of those places that feels like a blend of everything. A little bit of magic, a lot of history, and just enough hidden corners to make every visit feel like your own discovery. Bruges is also a popular stop for cruise travelers exploring Northern Europe, and it's easy to see why. With its easy access from the port and rich history, it's a perfect day trip destination. As the cruise ships dock nearby, visitors flood the streets, eager to capture the magic of this medieval city. But for those willing to look beyond the main sights, Bruges has so much more to offer. A city that rewards the curious traveler with moments of quiet beauty and unexpected discoveries. As the city lights start to twinkle, I find myself back on the cobblestones, a little tired, a little sticky from earlier, but completely satisfied. Bruges isn't just a city you visit, it's a city you experience. A place that invites you to get a little lost, laugh at the small mishaps, and savor every moment. If you enjoyed today's journey, hit subscribe. And until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and adventure aloud.